Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Israel Silva, and I want to welcome you to the Increase Your Income Challenge. What do we do in the challenge? We want to help you increase your income in your business. And we've come up with this 12-week challenge to help you do that. We work on 5 components of business: marketing, sales, operations, administration, and accounting. And we do it in a unique way. We work through a challenge. And in that challenge, we do it in 12 weeks. And we follow the 12-week year and structure. And also we follow Super Better method, and we make it a game. So we have fun doing this. We make it challenge. We help each other out. We come up with ideas on how to win in your business challenge here. So one of the things we're doing today is we're going to start this off. We always like to start our challenge with our vision and goals. We're talking about your vision and your goals for your business and your life. So that's really, really important, because you can't create a vision just for like your business. You have to think about holistically, how are you going to put this in your whole life? Today, I want you to learn about like creating the vision for your life and your business. We're going to work on that, make that crystal clear, and then creating the goals, the quests, the activities, kind of breaking that down so you can achieve your specific vision. And lastly, the accountability methods that we're going to talk about, how you can use those proven methods to achieve your goals. So let's get started with vision. I want to kind of talk about myself right now. If you don't know me, I have a vision to help people. And I think it kind of went back when I was a kid. I wanted to, hey, Dad, what's there to life? And he's like, well, son, you go to work, you make your grades, you get a good job. That's what he told me. And I thought, I was like, well, that's not enough. Just make good grades, get a good job, make a lot of money, and you die. What's the point? And I went and asked him, Dad, what's the point of living if that's it? And my dad was like, what do you mean? Well, I don't see the point. And he told me that God has a purpose for you. And so God put it in my heart, like, to do my best. And I was like, okay, God, I'm going to try to do that. But he also spoke a second thing in me that was very unique. And he said, Israel, I want you to do your best, but I want you to help other people become their best. I want you to help them do their best. And that became my vision for my life. And it's what I do to help people. And I want to help you in your business to grow it and to give you ideas on how to come up with new ways to make more money, to help more people, to make a greater impact. And so when you look at your vision, you want to create a vision that's going to turn you, it's going to be the fuel to your fire, just keep you lit up, keep you going. And so you think, first, I want you to think personal vision, then I want you to think business vision. But for personal vision, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, I just told you my vision was to help people. You may want to help people. You may want to help your family, your community, your neighbors. Your life is important, and you have a purpose and a reason. And that's what you have to think about when you're thinking about vision, is like, why do I want to do what I'm doing? I've always heard that quote, there's 2 important times in your life, the day you're born, and the second one is the day you figure out why you're born. And that's what you really want to do. What is the why in your life? What's the vision for you? And see yourself making an impact on your family, your community. That's what you have to think about. What's your family vision? What's your legacy for yourself? Think about what you really, truly want. You have to really stop and spend some time. Make the commitment to get on this challenge and to stay with this challenge. What is going to drive you is your personal vision for your life. Maybe you want to see yourself inspire your children to take them to a higher level. So that's what you can do in your personal vision. And your vision for your business, number 2, is you have to have a business established to help support your personal vision. So if your personal vision was to give back, to help other people, the business vision has to do that. You have to be able to have that freedom. Business vision. Create the vision that's going to direct your business. Now, if your vision for your life is to impact people, to help people, why not make that part of your vision for your business? Your business can impact the industry. It can serve a certain market. What is that you want to do? So important to think about that. Close your eyes and say, my vision for my life, what is that? What do I see? What is the most important thing I see myself accomplishing for my life? Second thing, what's the most important thing I see accomplishing for my business? How do I want my business to make a difference? in this world, in the community. I recently heard about Bill Gates. He has decided, he started a foundation, him and his now ex-wife, they started a foundation and they were going to give away pretty much all their money. And recently he said he's going to give away all of his money over the next 20 years. And he's amassed, about him and his ex-wife, $200 billion, with a B, $200 billion that they have amassed. And over the next 20 years, they're going to be distributing that money to help save millions of lives through helping with vaccinations and all kinds of medical conditions in poorer countries. And that was his vision for his life. That probably was not what he started. I remember when he started, he wanted to have a computer on every desk, and he wanted to make an impact in his industry, in his business. That was what he was trying to do in Microsoft. And once he had that business get fulfilled and achieved, he stepped out of the business world and he fulfilled a vision for his life to make an impact, legacy of helping other people. So it's intertwined. It's really so important that your business life and your personal life are aligned up. You can't be doing a business that you don't like, that you're not happy with, you don't even like the industry, but I make money, so I'm going to do it. That's not how you want to live. You want to live where your business complements and encourages the vision for your life. So I really want you to think about that. That is going to be your homework to work on, that vision, because it's going to fuel you. For every vision, you have to come up with goals to achieve your vision. And that's what the goals are. It's like what has to be done. And so when we look at that, we think about goals. And I'm trying to have you, in this 12-week challenge, break down the goals. And we're going to talk about 12-week goals, 1-year goals, and 5-year goals. What is the impact you want to have in your business? What do you want to achieve through your business? 5-year goal, are you going to set this up so you can pass it on or grow it further? Like, I want to grow it by 50%, by 75%, and grow it. And I want to have so many offices, or I have so many locations. Think about that. Visualize what you're doing there. And then 1 year, it's a little bit smaller, but in 1 year, let's say you want to do one specific thing. Maybe that's to have increase your customers from 100 customers to 1,000 customers. It's possible, but you have to set the goal and be very specific, and that's going to move you towards the 5-year goal. Now, the 12-week goal is what can we do over the next 12 weeks? And I want you to get more and more specific, more and more granular when it comes to your goals. So the 12-week goal, think about it this way. Like, where can I help my business the most? Like, where does my business need the most help? Is it in the marketing, sales, operation, administration, and accounting? Throughout this 12 weeks, I'll be talking about those 5 business components very often. But I want you to help set up your goals specific to that. Like, what is it that you're going to achieve? And you don't want to have, I don't want you to have 20 goals, okay? Maybe 1 personal and 1 business goal. That's it. I mean, if you're going to be really aggressive, you might put 2 business goals. But don't put too much, because this can be very overwhelming. Keep it simple. Think about what you need to accomplish and what you want to accomplish over the next 12 weeks. And here's the truth I have to tell you. It's going to take time to do this. It's going to take work to do this. It's going to take you changing what you do every day. If you want to change your surroundings, if you want to change your business, then who's going to have to change? That's right. You're looking at the person in the mirror every day. You're going to have to change the person in the mirror, yourself. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to give up time-wise. What are you going to do to commit to the next 12 weeks? That's the challenge here. And if you don't want to change and you don't want to maybe give up a few things, sacrifice watching TV or going to football games or baseball games or participating in something, if you don't want to sacrifice for your goals to reach your vision, then you're not. I mean, you have to think about, what am I going to give up to go up? And that's really what it comes down to. I want you to be clear about that. This is not a magic pill. This is serious, focused work. But when you focus, you will start a fire. You will do some things to generate some heat. I would like to break down goals into quest. Quest is, we don't use that word very much. It's like a journey. But if you have a goal, let's say to work on like one of the components of business, let's call it the sales, because that's a very important part of your business. If my goal is to improve my sales, it's a very general goal. So let's get a little more specific. I want to, sales is about awareness of your business. Sales is about closing your business. Marketing is about awareness. So it could be marketing, sales, operations, administration, and accounting. But you have to pick one. Marketing might be getting more leads, more awareness. Sales may be closing more deals. Operations may be producing more widgets, more items that I'm doing. Administration may be improving the training I have for my employees, or customer service improvements, leadership improvements to have supervisors more effectively managing to reach the goals of the company. And accounting is going to be determining ways where you're ensuring profitability. You're making sure you're going to meet your requirements of what you want to make for profit. I want to make 10% of profit. I want to make 15% of profit. Your accounting methods and how you do that will dictate how much profit you make. Because if you don't look at that measure and you're like, just spend, but you don't figure out how much you're spending on certain things, you could overspend budgets and make no profit. And so those are all important things. Marketing, awareness, sales, closing the deal, operation, production, administration is more of leadership, and then 5, accounting is profitability. So where is the goal for you? Now, I want you to create quest. Now, what is a quest in the 12-week planning challenge here we have? Quest are the major milestones in reaching your goal. That is what we're talking about. So if it's marketing and you want to gain awareness, that's like the goal. I want to increase the awareness of my business by saying, and you have to like create some metrics. These are some they call measurements. And so we want you to do that. We want to think of measurements, and there's lead measurements and lag measurements. I'm going to get into that a lot deeper in more details. But basically, what are you going to measure to determine if you're moving forward or if you're progressing towards your goal? So let's think about sales. That's one of the things that you're going to look at when you're talking about your quest. That may be one, like my goal is to increase my sales. Okay, that means sales is closing the deal. How many deals, people did you convert to customers last quarter? How many do you want to convert this quarter? That is a goal. Like, I want to convert like X number of leads to this number of customers. So let's say you have 1,000 leads that I'm going to go and I'm going to generate. My marketing generates 1,000 leads. My sales is going to close this 1,000 leads and try to generate 50 paying customers out of the 1,000 leads. That's your sales, the conversion. Thinking about that, well, how many people will I convert? That is a goal you can set up in your sales. Once you have your goal, then you're going to put your quest. Like, what are the milestones? Okay, let's say I have a goal to convert 1,000 leads into 50 paying customers. Well, you're not going to do that in one day. Then you may say milestone, one of my quest will be to run a campaign that's going to get me at least 5 or 6 sales. Run a different campaign to get me another 5 or 6 sales. Now, also, another thing you can work in sales is you work on your sales pitch. Like when you meet people in person, when you have your brochure and what you have, your business card, and what you have to present to them, your sales pitch, I call it the $1 million sales pitch, have that created. So that may be another quest, is that I'm going to create the $1 million sales pitch. That's a presentation that I can do in 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you have those all ready to go so that when you meet someone who is a potential client, potential customer, they're a lead that you can convert to a sale, that's going to be available to you. So then that becomes one of your quests. In 5 weeks or in 6 weeks, I'm going to have a sales pitch. I'm going to have my $1 million sales pitch. I'm going to have my presentation. I'm going to have my sales cards, my brochures. Those are all quests that you create. A quest can focus on, again, one or more of these components. Try not to go over two. Okay, so sales and marketing might be enough. We're going to further break down these quests into activities. And that's kind of the next thing is, I don't have it set up here, but the activities will be dates. You have dates for the activities. So that's what we're going to work on, putting dates on the activities. So if one of our quest is to create the campaign, the marketing campaign that gets us the conversion from leads to sales, then when are we doing that? What are we doing? The activity may be sit down and come up with 10 different ideas. Okay, that's an activity. Second activity will be to narrow it down to like 2 ideas. Third activity may be to create the campaign, like you actually write it out and work on it. Fourth activity may be to go ahead and post it. After you've done your draft, you post that and you see the results. So the activities are the breakdown of your quest. So I know it can be you just have to narrow this down, and it's more and more granular. Next thing here we wanted to talk about was how do we keep ourselves accountable to achieving these things? And that's where the accountability methods come in. Number one accountability thing that we want to offer you is the weekly accountability meeting, or the WAM, the weekly accountability meeting. Once a week, you meet and you talk about how you're doing, what is your progress on your quest and your goals. What is the progress? How many activities did you complete this past week? We'll create a scorecard for you to do that. In the weekly accountability meetings, the WAM meetings, those are the ones you're going to do every week. You meet with your group. It could be one person, it could be 3 people, 4 people. If you're in a Financial Champion Academy Pro, then you're going to meet with us here, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to put you on the hot seat. We're going to say, how you doing? And let's see what we can do. We're going to give you some ideas, encouragement, support, but that's what you're going to do. So the weekly accountability meeting, the WAM, is what you can do to stay accountable to accomplishing your goals, your quest, and your activities. Okay, that is the WAM. Next thing is a personal calendar, using the calendar system. Creating your calendar one place. It's sometimes hard when you have it on Google and you have an Outlook and you have all these different calendars, but having one and then using that calendar to just put your life down. It's all in there. So that it doesn't have to stay in your brain, it stays in your calendar. And once it's in your calendar, you can share that with your executive assistant. Yes, you need an assistant, and that helps you because it doesn't have to be all in your head. It can be on paper, and someone can help facilitate that. So that's something that you can work on, is creating that personal calendar. The next thing here is a scorecard, and we're going to help you create that scorecard, and that's where you score yourself on your progress of your activities for each quest. So let's say you have 2 or 3 quests for the 12 weeks, and then these quests are broken down into activities, and these activities will have a scorecard. You need to finish 5 out of for the entire week. So if you have 5 and you got 1 done, that's a 20% accomplishment rate. Probably not that good. You want to be an 80%. So you want to get at least 4 out of 5 done. And that means you're accomplishing your quest, which accomplishes your goal in the 12 weeks. So a 12-week goal broken down with quest and activities, further detailed with deadlines and dates. And then you push yourself to reach those, to get 4 out of 5 of your activities. That's what you want to do. 80% is great. 80% means you're making progress. If you don't make 80%, you get 60%, 40%. Okay, maybe you're not there, but you keep working on it. And that is so crucial. That's what you want to do, is have these weekly accountability meetings. You want to have a calendar, you want to put your thoughts in there, and then you want to have a scorecard. Do these 3 things, and in 12 weeks, you're going to achieve at least one of your goals. If you are diligent and you stay on this process, you're going to achieve it. I know it's going to be great. I know you're going to get excited because seeing the progress. Now, it's not going to be easy, but it's simple. You just follow the same recipe, you will achieve it. We do things here in a format to challenge you. So first one is challenge yourself. We have a little guy coming up a hill with a big ball, rolling it up. You are challenging yourself. You're stepping into, what am I going to do over the next 12 weeks? And once you've accepted the challenge, then you create your goals. That we call them an epic goals, and have 1, 2, maybe 3. And it could be a personal goal, one of them, but we really want the business goals. Work on your sales, work on your marketing, whatever that needs to be. You're going to set that goal, and then you're going to break it up. The next one says complete activities and quests. You're going to break it up into activities and quests. Quests are the major milestones. Activities are the ones that fill in the blanks for the quest. And that's what we're doing. Getting this done, and we're going to have a bit of a game in the sense that everybody's going to be tracked on how much their percent complete for their particular quest. So if you had a quest and then it had 5 parts and you got 4 done, then you got 80%. Another person had a quest and they had 10 parts over the same time period, then if they accomplish 5 of them, that's 50%. Well, then they're not leading. So it's important that you set up your own quest and you put your own milestones. That's part of this super better method that we use. The 4th thing here in this super better method is called defeat the villains. Everybody has a villain. The things that hold you back, your job is going to be figuring out how to defeat the villain so that you can achieve the things. One of the tools that we use is called collect and activate power-ups. So whenever you're down, discouraged, you don't feel like you want to go another round of doing this business, think about your power-ups. Those are the things that make you happy, bring you joy, getting a hug, talking to a mentor, having someone encourage and inspire you. That is what you want to do, is list those things and then have them available when you need them. When you're feeling down, you can activate the power up. Remember Super Mario Bros? And you got big. You can get big inside when you get powered up. Maybe seeing a picture of a puppy might get you going. So that's something that is a power up to you. You want to collect these. You want to figure out what they are and then activate them when you need them. The next one is recruiting allies. That is important in this whole challenge, that you don't do the challenge by yourself. Find someone to do the challenge with you. A friend, a family member, someone you can trust, someone that's not going to think you're crazy for trying to do something new. That is the recruiting your allies. A very, very important part. Last 2 here is adopt a secret identity. And there's been a lot of scientific studies that show that when people view themselves as something, like I'm taking on this persona, I'm super non-procrastinating entrepreneur. Yes, this Mr. Man does not procrastinate. He's always planning and achieving his goals on time and becoming that. Like, think about that. And you put the cape on and say, I'm this person. And when I'm this person, I don't fail in these things. You do this to kind of encourage yourself and have a mental picture of what you want to be, what you want to achieve. It's like your vision, but just a mental picture of this person and the characteristics and traits. So there's a whole lesson in that. But again, adopt a secret identity. And the last one is celebrate the victory. You celebrate the victory. You plan out your party before you have it. And that's what you're going to work on. So these are some things that we will use in this 12-week challenge. Number 1 is create your personal and business vision. That's number 1. Number 2 is create 1 to 3 goals, and at least one of them has to be specific to your business growth. Like, what are you going to grow? What sales component, marketing, administration, accounting, operation? What are the things that you're going to work on? And number 3 is prepare to discuss your progress at your next WAM, your next weekly accountability meeting. Want you to do that. Prepare. Have your things lined up. So we go around the table. Hey, how'd you do? What was your progress? Let's share. That is your action items for this coming week, and I hope you'll join us in our next particular class. You can join Financial Champion Academy by going to financialchampionacademy.com, learn more about our community and be a part of it. We're teaching you these lessons, providing you this content to help you become the best version of yourself, to take your business to the next level. We hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and we will see you back next week in this challenge.